So, we in that new year, new me season.
Yes.
But a lot of us still have some of the same goals from 2023. And a lot of y'all, and I know for sure because y'all came up to me and asked,
You
a
did.
lot of y'all wanted to start a podcast.
Yes.
I got good news for you, player. Spotify for podcasts is here for every need you have.
We've been using Spotify for podcasters since we started our podcast. It's so easy. You literally record, edit, and upload all from your phone, your computer. So no matter what your setup looks like, you can start now.
Yes, get your conversations, your opinion, your views out to the world. People need to hear you.
You can distribute your podcast to Spotify and anywhere else that podcasts are heard.
With Spotify for podcasters, you can earn money in a multitude of ways. Ads or podcast subscriptions. I mean, it's an easy way to get your visions out to the world and earn some extra pocket change.
Yeah, my favorite thing about all of this is free 99.
Yes. They don't charge you a dime. So you really got nothing holding you back. Today, not tomorrow, today. Let's be heard. Spotify for podcasters.
Let's be seen. Welcome and welcome back to another episode of the For the Healthy Host podcast.
Where we talk about self-awareness, conscious living, and everything in between.
Period. I'm your host, Ree.
Sunset Tim.
Thank you so much for joining us and allowing us to be a part of your journey.
Season 3, baby.
Season 3.
We made it.
I'm really excited to be here. I'm really happy that you're here with me.
I'm happy to be back. I very much missed it. I loved everything that you did, everything you said in season 2. My favorite episode definitely is the affirmation. That's my favorite one.
Yeah, that's your shit.
That's my shit. To hear your voice do the affirmations is everything. So that was definitely my favorite one. But we back here with season 3. Super excited to bring y'all this. Super excited for myself. And yeah, I know you are too, to even explore ourselves even more.
Absolutely. Before we move any further, though, I do have a disclaimer, okay? Hear me out, girls. Hear me out. I am really tired. Really sleepy because last night I was so excited about recording this episode today. Like, it's one of the things, like, y'all remember when we were in school and it was like the first day of school, like I guess the first day back to school, you got your little outfit laid out, got your new books, your new pens and all that good stuff, and you were just excited to see your friends. And the night before you were just so restless. You couldn't sleep because you were so excited. That's the kind of thing that was going on with me last night. I was so excited to be back here with my friends, with my family, with our community. So pardon me if I, seem a little loopy.
They ain't gonna be able to tell the difference. Not.
Well, I just want to let you girls and guys know that I was excited to see you. And I'm a little restless, a little tired because of that. But y'all are worth it.
Yes, to cannonball right in, today's episode is...
we're going to be talking about the courage to be disliked.
That's a good one.
Really, really good one. I think it's really necessary. But yeah, let's just jump right in it.
So, at what point in our lives do we actually start to conceptualize, if that's the right word, being disliked? What do you think that happens at?
I think first you really have to talk about the desire to be liked. I mean, because it's kind of the same thing. Like, I
don't know. I think when you a kid, it's unconscious a little bit. Like, when you a kid, you so naive. Like as a kid, you thought you were like the fastest kid. You thought you were that kid. You know what I mean? I don't think it happens until you like get around other kids and like that classroom kind of setting is the first time you actually like you said, bring it into thought. Will they like me?
Right.
Is the first time. You never kind of think that with your cousins or brothers. Like, they've been there the whole time. Family been there the whole time. I think in the classroom is the first actual time you actually say to yourself, will they like me?
Right. I agree with that. And I think, like you said, in the classroom is when it definitely first starts. And I just think as we grow older, especially like high school, it gets even worse because we begin to be exposed to like, the media and
other people's opinions start weighing very heavily on you. A lot of things start to happen around that high school time, but I do think it comes back to the first root when it starts to happen at younger, first, second, third grade, where unconsciously you don't even kind of know it, but it's happening right then and there. Because if I look back into, of course, my childhood, it's seemingly people from my childhood who kind of like had the I don't give a fuck attitude in like second and third grade. They were always very unique, and it carried all the way up until, now, like a lot of them. And then there were other people that
clearly wanting to like
be like.
Yeah.
And I think most of us kind of fall into that category. People actually wanting to be like. I think at all times, like everybody's kind of went with the crowd for something. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I don't think there's rarely that you have so many people that don't go with the crowd. But like I said, those are the outliers. The people who were themselves from the jump, they really don't know how to be anything but themselves. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Were you one of the outliers, or were you one of the kids that kind of mixed in the beginning?
Honestly, I definitely was one of the kids who mixed in. I think people see me now and they would probably think Rhea has always done her own thing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I haven't always been this person. I wanted to be liked. I wanted people to like what I was doing, the things that I was saying. You know what I'm saying? What I'm wearing. Like, I just really had that desire to be liked. And I don't know, it's crazy. Like, I'm really trying to think about, like, why? Like, where did that come from? And you say, like, classroom, but I actually think it starts with parents. I think for me, it started with parents wanting to, be loved and liked by and accepted by my mom. Okay. Absolutely. I think it might even go further back. Like, and it's completely unconscious. Like, I think we don't even realize, like, I'm trying super hard to
impress mom and dad.
Exactly. And like you talked about, as we get older, it can get really dangerous because we've created a life that maybe we don't even like, based on what we thought other people liked or who we thought we should have been. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for the acceptance of other people.
Exactly.
A lot of people go to college to be what their parents want them to be, you know what I mean? And
I'm 100% guilty of that.
And then they get 2 years into college, and that's when, they kind of get there, They throw me off the family picture. You just like, fuck it. They just throw me out the family picture. You know
exactly.
What I mean?
I'm definitely guilty of that. Like, I went to college for nursing. Like, I just couldn't figure it out. Went to college for nursing. I think I talked about this before. And then it was information technology. And I think there was a pivotal moment in my life where I finally, made decisions for me and kind of like figured out what it was that I wanted to do. But
for me, I never really... I can't think I did. I never really tried to like impress mom and dad that much. I give my mom and dad credit for it. They never really put too much pressure on me or my brothers to impress them with something. But in the beginning of my childhood, I was actually one of those didn't give a fuck kids.
Really?
Yes. When I went to Scott Central, I was like full nerd. I was like reading at recess, reading books, like, and a lot of the other kids was like not fucking with me. But I had 2 friends that did fuck with me. One of them was named Andy, and I want to say the other one named Robert or something like that. 2 white kids, actually. I say that specifically to bring the race into it because once we moved, we used to live on the countryside where I grew up. Dirt roads. Your neighbor may have been half a mile down the road. Like, it was small place, maybe
super country,
maybe 40 50 people in the entire city. Like, it was very small.
And to clarify, he lived there, I didn't.
But where you grew up wasn't no better. Like, wasn't no better. But once we moved from there, we moved to the city. And when I say city, it ain't much of a city. We talk maybe 15 16,000, but it was big enough to have I'm gonna call it segregation, but of course it wasn't like mandatory. But like, it was big enough to have a hood, suburban side where the more wealthy and just frank, most of the white people lived on that side of town. So we moved to the middle of the hood. Before we moved to the middle of the hood, I didn't even really play basketball. I was a baseball kid.
Really?
Yes, I was a baseball kid. Where my wanting to be liked started to happen there because I'm in a new environment. And like I said, they play basketball. I didn't play basketball. You know what I mean? A lot of things was different, of course, from like I said, the middle of the hood versus the middle of the country.
Right.
And that's when my starting to want to be liked by people actually started to begin. Once I actually got amongst my own quote unquote people, like my own cultures, like when the acceptance thing actually started to kick in for me.
Wow.
And that's when I made the shift from more of a person going with the crowd, wanting to stand out but not too far out. You know what I mean? And that was like a balance for my younger years in school. It was like that stand out but also not too far in front of the crowd.
Right. I think, and it's so funny that you say that too, because I'm just thinking about high school, and I had my best friend. Like whenever it's almost as if like when you find your people, your actual people who love you, and
comfort comes with that.
Yes, and you don't really care about being liked, right? So, and I felt that when I had my best friend, and even more when we started dating. Like I felt that even more. I didn't care about being liked because I feel like the feeling of love is overwhelming in the best way possible, and you just don't give a fuck about being liked anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Once you developed a support group,
yes,
or your people, and you find your people, is a lot easier to be disliked because you have a group of people kind of backing you up,
supporting you
emotionally, mentally. You know what I mean? That, I mean, as far as being disliked, that is an amazing thing to have. You know what I mean? If that's something you can have, whether it's like in your hometown or if you got to build it on the net.
Prime example.
Like find your people and they can help you out with a lot of the early stages of being disliked.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And we're going to tap into this in a minute, but I think finding your people, but even more important, finding who you are, finding yourself. But I wanted to mention something. Like I'm reading the book. I'm reading like a couple books right now, y'all.
Like
I'm in that great space. Not always.
Always.
No, that's not true. When I have my book, I be in my book. You know that.
That's a different debate.
I'm in the great space right now where like I just finished reading the book, and then I'm trying to find out which book I want to read next. I'm in between The Psychology of Money and The Mountain Is You, and I was literally like 30 minutes ago I was reading The Mountain Is You, and I shared that quote with you. She was just saying, I was just like, it's so crazy that this quote is right here, right now. You know what I'm saying? But she was saying that instead of being liked, focus on being loved. Instead of being understood, focus on being seen. And I just wanted to, mention that here today because I just feel like that aligned perfectly with what we were talking about.
Absolutely. I definitely believe it does. Like, what was big for me was like mentally recording my emotions when I was in the crowd and there was something going on in the crowd I didn't like.
Right.
So, like in high school, I got to sit at like the quote unquote cool table in this stage. So when they got to like roasting somebody else, I wouldn't say anything to stop the roasting, but I'd be like, bro, y'all on cuz head for like what reason? Like he can't control some of them things like y'all on his head about. You know what I mean? Just recording certain things and that as it's going on, that kind of helps you find, like you said, finding yourself. It kind of helps you find yourself, and it definitely helped me. Like, I'm not a bully type person, not none of that. Like, in the moments, helped me like figure out, like, nah, that's not me.
That's not who I want to run with.
Yeah, I want to run with those guys. I don't want to be like that. I don't ever want to just like, pick on somebody. You know what I mean? Everybody gets, a joke or two made about them, but picking on is a little further. But just like recording those things, like, can help you find yourself in that journey of being disliked.
Absolutely, 100%.
Piggybacking off of that, having a strong sense of self really does smooth that road out a lot. But I mean, strong sense of self, I feel like, and I'm evidence to this, is like, it's like a lifetime long road of like actually knowing self.
Absolutely, 100%.
You peel it back, and yes, there's core values of you kind of know, but then there's just certain things that it might have been happening your whole life, but you kind of never took notice to them I tell y'all I'm toxic and I like to hold grudges. I never really thought of me as that person though. Like up until about 10 months ago is when I started to really like feel my purple blood like in me, like, and I love it too. Like I love it.
Yeah, you got some toxic. You
I love it too.
And it's so funny that you say that. And I think the reason that you were unable to really see it, because in your family though, they treat you as if like this perfect angel kind of persona.
I got
like
such
a halo.
Yeah,
like,
in my family, I got such a halo.
Yeah,
with my brothers, my mom,
your granny.
Like if I side with somebody, there's a family dispute, and I side with them.
That's the right way.
That's who was right. Like,
yeah. And just thinking about that, like the way that other people think about us and their opinions about us sometimes determine how we think about us.
Yes, it can cause us, if we get out of line with their beliefs about us, we'll feel ugly about ourselves.
Yeah, definitely.
But like I said, over the last 10 months, I definitely have embraced my toxicity. And it's crazy, my toxic side has actually put in work towards my better side because I'm a non-confrontational person. But the more I embrace my toxic side, the easier it is for me to approach a situation that is like a little tense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And easier for me to stand up for myself. Is like I can click into that. I can channel my toxic mode because I'm like I said, non-confrontational, even to the point where if I'm getting overlooked at a restaurant, I just sit there for the
baby, because I'm not. See,
you not.
I'm the one who's going to speak up for him. Like I take up for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I have always done
it's
that.
One of them things where they be like the girlfriend, like the boyfriend gets his steak. He was like, well, I actually asked for it like medium rare, and it's all the way well done.
And the boyfriend be like, it'd be okay though.
And the girlfriend is like, no, he ordered you know what I mean? You are definitely that for me. But
I am.
I have now found a way to channel that in myself.
I'm definitely that wife.
You are definitely that wife.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend too.
I know, it's so funny that because it feels like that. I think it adds a fun element. He always called me his girlfriend, y'all, but don't get it twisted.
This is my wife, but I like to call her my girlfriend because, I don't know, it keeps us back to that element because we got kids. And it's like, we can get drowned in being mom and dad sometimes and like lose our relationship. But that's a whole nother podcast.
Before we continue with today's episode, I want to fill you guys in on our partner, Athletic Greens. So I recently started taking AG1 by Athletic Greens in the morning right before I work out. And I was immediately drawn to Athletic Greens because I'm always looking for ways to better my health, mind, body, soul. AG1 contains daily nutrients and assists with long-term gut health. AG1 is way more than greens. It's all of your key health products like multivitamins, minerals, pre- and probiotics, and more working together as one. It helps the gut so that your whole body can thrive. It also provides me peace of mind because I know I'm getting everything that I need.
So if you want to take ownership of your health, today is a good time to start. Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/healthyhoes. That's athleticgreens.com/healthyhoes. Check it out.
And I'm glad you said that though, because I think also a lot of people are so attached to titles, identities. You know what I'm saying? And we really have to detach ourselves from these titles because when you lose that particular title, you'll have a whole like existential crisis when you're no longer that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's really super important.
Absolutely. Like, your title can hold you back from so much. If you're an athlete, you automatically kind of like, we get athletes, they big, they jocks. You don't expect the athlete to play an instrument.
Right.
Things of that nature. Don't let your title hold you back. You can be a soft-hearted, woman and a cold-ass businesswoman as well. Don't ever get it twisted. Don't let it get it twisted. You can be that. You can be a boss-ass bitch and still be soft. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't let a title hold you back.
Right.
From anything. And like I said, detaching from that title can really open you up to a whole new world of possibilities.
Woo.
Whole world of strengths that you didn't know about.
Exactly.
I like that. Whole world of strengths you didn't know about.
A whole world of strengths you did not know about.
Throw away the title and just move freely, because once you like you said, once you lose your title, you can start to dislike yourself and lose that courage of being disliked. A lot of people do that.
And when you lose those titles, you realize like you can do anything. Like you don't have to box yourself in. And I have to say I'm guilty of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not as far as like being a mom or like, you know, those titles, but as far as like content wise, sometimes I'll box myself in, and I have boxed myself in. But when you lose those titles and understand that you can be anything you want to fucking be in this earth, in this universe.
Like tap in.
Yes.
To anything.
You can tap into anything.
Trump was the president.
Donald Trump was the president.
Trump was the president. Like, I'm gonna leave it at that. Like, this man went from apprentice to the White House. I definitely didn't vote for Trump.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously not. But he did show me that you can do what you want to in the goddamn world.
You can do anything.
You can do some of the shit you
the
want to
sky's
in
the
the
limit.
world.
You know what I'm saying?
Sky's the limit.
So yeah, titles aside, just get time to you know, just know yourself. We have a whole episode on self-awareness, but just getting to know every layer of who you are and understanding that those layers may actually change. Yes. Like, you're not gonna always like the same shit, and that can be uncomfortable, that can be scary, it can be fearful, but embrace that fear, embrace that uncomfortableness, because you're allowed to change, you're allowed to grow. You know what I'm saying? Spend time with yourself, get to know yourself. This is the same shit we always say.
Yeah,
like,
it all comes back to the same thing.
It does. Like, just getting to know who you are.
Absolutely. Like, yeah, you the same flower, but you can grow a different leaf. You feel me? Like, whew, that can happen. Like,
hey, you spitting.
I was spitting today.
You spitting today.
Like, continue to develop self, like she said. You know what I mean? Take away things, add things, and things you already good at, further develop them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Go deeper into relationships. I think a lot of times in life we find it so fascinating to start new things, other than finding the beauty in going deeper with certain relationships.
Yes, let relationship with yourself be one of those relationships. Yes, obviously. Yeah.
You put me on game today. That's like your deepest and longest relationship is with self.
I did say that.
You did.
I did say that. But something else that I seen this somewhere. I don't know what social media website. I don't know what book. I don't know for sure. But it's like, why? I'm paraphrasing here. Mm-hmm. Why the fuck would I be worried about what other people think of me when most people don't even know themselves?
Facts.
Like people out here like faking and flogging, you know what I'm saying? I feel like most people do not know themselves, and for me to try to conform and be liked, and when y'all don't even know who y'all are, it's not making
absolutely.
sense.
It's a lot easier to judge a cake baking contest than to bake a fucking cake. Absolutely. It's way easier to judge that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And when I say most people don't know themselves, you know, it came off like
no,
it's I'm coming from it from a non-judgmental angle though, because I haven't always known myself.
But you've also never been negative towards other people because you didn't know self though.
True.
So it did, like, yeah, no, it's fuck them folks who like don't know themselves but have so much
to say
critical judgment of other people on that path trying to do something. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of the trolling and a lot of people not wanting to put themselves out there comes from those people. The people that you calling your people. I'm an artist, so like I'm never really ever scared to share my art with artists.
Right.
It's to share it in the broad open spectrum where everybody's at that brings fear, like, because it is not a guarantee that those 100,000 people over there are gonna like you or gonna be fans of you. You know what I mean? So that's where the fear comes from amongst your people. You know, it's different.
So on the previous episode, I kind of mentioned like filtering out the noise. You know what I'm saying? People's opinions and obligations. That's literally one of our affirmations. The thoughts, opinions, and obligations of others is none of my business. You know what I'm saying? And you got to filter out that noise.
If you ain't heard that affirmation episode, I'm telling you, it changed your life. That's every morning kind of episode. It is amazing. Anyways.
That's so sweet.
It is. But like she was saying, filtering out the noise and trying to find what you like or dislike, you know what I mean, out here is critical. I can't remember what movie we was watching. I do remember we was watching Soul. That's a great movie by Disney.
Oh, it's such a great movie.
I'm an adult and I still love animated movies.
Same.
I don't think I ever get out of that.
Some of my favorite movies are animations.
But there's a part where, in Soul, the main character dies, and there's a young soul that's trying to guide him, and he's guiding the other soul as well. But they get to this crazy little realm where the little baby soul is lost and confused, and there's this big cloud of tornado, of just things circling around, like words, opinions, and all this. It's like a dark cloud.
Yeah, I remember that part.
And she's stuck in the very middle of that dark cloud. And it's kind of like filtering through all the noise, all the dark clouds, all the thunder, all the rain to truly find self. Is like, it's a beautiful thing once you get into that middle, because they say it's calm in the eye of the storm. I definitely believe once you find self, you find that beautiful simplicity that life is all about. Mm-hmm. The breeze outside, the smell of flowers, that simple simplicity is there inside of you once you find it.
Absolutely. I can 100% agree with you on that. It takes a lot of a toll on your body, mentally, physically, spiritually, you know what I'm saying? All of it, to really just try to live your life for other people. Mm-hmm. In the end, you'll find out that you're not happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, filtering out the noise, honing in on who you are, whether it be reading, listening to podcasts, and journaling, you know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. And like you said, find out what you like. What you like in your life, what you like about yourself, what you dislike about yourself, what you want to change it. Because the thing about it, we are all about self-acceptance, but it's important to change the things or work towards healthy, sustainable change for the stuff that you don't like about yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I get what you're saying. For the things you don't like, some of those things, like you said, are changeable. Some of them you have to just kind of embrace that, that's a side of you that you don't particularly care for, and you could try to maintain it in a different way. I got high anxiety levels, but that's a part of me that I've had to learn how to maneuver with and how to live with, because it ain't like I can just kick it out. Like I think I said before, if I could drop anxiety off, I would drop the bitch off somewhere.
Yeah.
I wouldn't keep her around. I would drop it off. But
you know why though? We all have we have these anxieties and stuff like that, because we holding on to shit that's not ours.
A lot of times
we holding on to traumatic events. We can't get out of the past. We can't let the past go. We have to understand that we're not the past. We don't have to be a product of the past. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what happens. I'm guilty of it too. You know what I'm saying? I think most of us are guilty of that. That's why we literally I can't remember what it was we were talking about, but I was like, no, I didn't do it like that because last time this happened. ABC happened.
Back to the past.
Right, because I'm living in the past. We base our present, our future, and how we move based on things that happened to us in the past. And I think obviously that is very helpful for us in some ways, but it can definitely be detrimental to our well-being if we just continue to live in, I guess, relive those traumatic events. You know what I'm saying?
Events, relive the comments people make about you and things that have said. That's part of the stepping out of there and finding your comfort zone, putting yourself out there.
Right.
Really having the courage to be disliked. I know once you get into your life, you're gonna try for something that's not guaranteed.
Absolutely.
Most of life is a try for something that's not guaranteed.
Most of life is not guaranteed. Literally, most of life is not guaranteed.
And if you're anything like us, you might want to put something out there into the world, podcasts, YouTube videos, a business, poetry, music, whatever it might be. Letting go of people's opinion of you is crucial to that art.
Yeah.
It's crucial. It can't even really function well until you let go of everybody's opinion about it.
Right.
If you have a business and you're steady worried about everybody's opinion on how the product will actually look when it's finished, you might never put it out.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's funny that you say that because obviously every day I'm working towards letting go of people's opinions and everything like that. But when somebody I know tells me, like, I love your podcast. Literally, y'all, we met somebody at the coffee shop locally that was like, and I actually didn't know this person, but shout out to her, first of all. But, like, she was like, I listened to your podcast, and I was like, shocked. I was shook because it made me feel weird. Like, that's my thing. Like, you get what I'm saying?
I think I get what you're saying. I'm trying to get it. Was it shook that you met somebody that knew you? Or shook, like, people actually, like, real life people actually fuck with me?
I don't know. I think that wasn't a good example because I'm a little tired, like I said in the beginning. But,
I'm tired.
but I guess just like, okay, let me just redo it then. When people I actually know, like people we grew up with, you know what I'm saying, say, I like your podcast or I be watching your videos, it does make me feel like a little uneasy. Like that people I know are watching me.
Ah, okay.
Like, you get what I'm saying? Because, like, their opinions, like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, they're judging me. They're perceiving me.
Yes, and then it's like, I get that because, like, of course, I rap. I'm an artist. And it's like, the people who I most hear in my head when I'm saying something negative about my music, they from back home.
Exactly.
Because they have an image or a statue of what I used to be.
Yes.
And who I am now don't match that statue. So I know there has to be some kind of disconnect feeling. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't like, or whatnot. But yes, I get what you're saying. Like, it's toughest for me to share with people, like I said, from back home than a stranger who doesn't know me. They just know me as a rapper.
They just know you as Sunset Tim.
Back home, they know me as Trav Lowe.
Exactly.
It's a whole nother.
Exactly.
It's a whole nother thing. That statue is different now.
Exactly. And one thing I've said this before. I don't know if I ever said this like on the internet, but like, if you used to know me, you don't really know me. I'm not that girl anymore. Like I'm no longer her anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know some people, like, they're who they were. Well, what am I trying to say? Some people, they're still who they were back then. And I'm just like, literally, if you knew me, like, my life is so different. It's so different. Who I am, my being, my spirit is different. You know what I'm saying? Some things are still the same. I mean, the core, which is natural.
The core values and things, they're still the same. But, like, it's a whole different thing. Like I said, that statue has been hit with that chisel 1,000 times. Now, I'm nothing like what you have solidly remembered. And that's because I can't remember where I've heard it or read it, that people generalize things. Our brain generalizes everything. So people have a general view of you back where you from or the people you know. But everybody's an evolving person every single day. Absolutely. So they just have an outdated thing of you, like an outdated software of what you used to be.
Exactly.
And they ain't fully downloaded this new version of you.
Right. I 100% agree with that. And then you mentioned, like, core values, and that just made me really think about the fact that a lot of our previous core values and beliefs may be different than what we actually believe, because that's a part of filtering out the noise. Like, you know what I'm saying, we are unconsciously, and I've spoken about this before, we unconsciously inherit these beliefs, these values, you know what I'm saying? And you may get a little older and you realize, like, well, shit, that don't really make sense. Well, how the fuck did I believe that? And you start to develop your own core values, your own beliefs, and that's when you start to really hone in on, you know, you and what you really like. Like, that's a part of that.
A couple things you can do to, like, build your dislike strength up.
We love examples on what to do. Give it to
like,
us.
One, like, if you're making anything, or you're a creator of any type, business, art, whatever it is, like, the first thing is ask yourself, do you like it?
Right. How does it make you feel?
Do you like it? How does it make you feel? When you hear it, when you see it, do you think it's dope? All right, if it checks off on there, like, does it align with what you want to put and see in the world?
Right.
Like, is the next thing. Is it the positivity you want to see in the world? Is it the message that you wish people were listening to or talking about right now? And then 3, like, I like to ask myself, well, what's holding me back from it? And I try to answer that question fast, because, like, the truth come real fast. Like, you tell yourself the truth fast. I try to answer that one really quick. So, like, if it's a line in the song I want to say, and I'm like, well, why do I not want to say it? It may be because, these people not going to like it. These certain groups not going to like that. You know what I mean? I know a specific line I said in the song. I had to ask you about it. Like, can I say that?
What'd I say to you?
You was like, hell yeah, you say it. Like, you thought it, say it. Like,
yeah. And the thing is, I think sometimes as humans, not even sometimes, a lot of times we overthink shit.
Oh, absolutely. That's another one. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, we overthink shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10, you're way fucking doper than what you think you are.
Facts. Way, like,
you're way
harder
doper
than you think you is.
Like, you killing shit and you don't even realize it.
I never will get over the fact that you can never really, I've always thought about this in my head, you can never really feel your own energy.
You really can't.
You can't
experience you.
Yes,
you like
can't. So you don't know how dope you are because you've never experienced it.
Like, we can try. Like, I feel like through meditation, you can try. Like, and I think that's the closest way to, like, actually experience yourself.
You can never experience you. So that's another reason why you kind of held back from your dope. You can't experience you. You know what I mean? So when I drop something or I put something out, they experience it in a totally different way. They seeing it like, oh, this is amazing. I'm looking at it like, that go a mistake. That's a mistake. I shouldn't have wore that. I should have said this. Like,
we so critical on our, to ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, super critical to the point it's detrimental to our courage to be dislike muscle, and it's just making it weaker and weaker. And the last thing is flex it. Like, flex the dislike muscle. The more you flex a muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. Like,
exactly. You just don't give a fuck. Like, I don't give a fuck era. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And if anything, if all else fails, detonate is what I do. Like, what I mean by detonate is, like, if I have a post I'm scared about, I post it and I just put my phone down and I do something else for a couple hours, and then I come back to it later. I can't delete it. Everybody know I saw it. It wouldn't help. I detonate that shit. Just let it blow up. Like, absolutely. That's just a trick I do for myself.
Yeah, I love that trick.
It's a
magical
trick.
Thinking about what you just said really quickly though, when you said that people see the goodness in us, you know what I'm saying? And we're critical, we find the bad stuff. And I think a way to counter that is to, if we gotta fake it, we gotta fake it. Like, say nice shit to ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Speak nicely to yourself. I always say this, be nice to your fucking self.
Yeah,
be nice to yourself. And go back to those affirmations. Like, just keep affirming yourself. Because the more you look for negative things, you'll find negative things, right? And the more you speak positive things, find the beauty in who you are and your being, the more you continue to find beauty. And it's like a slippery slope, and it'll keep happening.
I definitely believe that. You have a quote, because I've always had, not a weird relationship with money, but just like, everybody has a relationship with money, but one of your affirmations is, I am money. Like, money comes to me abundantly, and just things of that nature.
Yes.
Little bitty things like that, if you can say to yourself very often, could really affect you, like, in a positive way down the road. Just like the negative shit you've always thought you heard, because that's the thing. Like, we always thought we heard some shit, because they ain't really say it, but we heard that shit a lot.
We heard that shit though.
We heard that shit a lot. Nobody actually, even if somebody did say it, it was only one person who said it. Like. Yeah. But we heard that shit. One person said one sentence, but we heard that shit a million times in our head.
We kept playing it.
And the same way you can repeat that negative thing and believe it, you can believe something positive.
Absolutely, 100%.
So, everybody out there, flex the courage to be dislike muscle. Weekly, daily, hourly, monthly, minutes,
seconds.
Do it while you're listening to me right now.
Do it right now. Yeah, I mean,
I think that wraps up.
That wraps it up. Like, just, we don't give a fuck. We're all collectively in our don't give a fuck era putting it are out there. So many possibilities, opportunities are out there for you. Stop holding yourself back. Stop giving a fuck what these people think. These people don't know themselves. You know what I'm saying? Hone in on who you are. Get to know who you are. And put your art out.
Yes.
Because that shit is dope. I know it's dope.
Know it. Put that work out. Put that work out.
Put that work out.
Put that work out.
Put that work out. On that note, thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm sending you so much love, so much peace, so much abundance, and everything you need in this moment. We love you guys, and we'll talk to you in the next episode.